like $1 million deals. Where's my pen? I'm signing. I like those Balenciagas, the ones that look like socks. I like going to the Tula. I put rocks all in my watch. I like texts from my exes when they want a second chance. I like proving wrong. I do what they say I can't. They call me Cardi, Cardi, banging body. Mommy, hot tamale, out of dinner, Molly, Virgo, Ferrari, hop up the stoop, jump in the coupe, big dip on top of the roof, flexing on as hard as I can, eating halal, driving a lamb, so that bitch, I'm sorry, got my coins like Mario, yeah, they call me Cardi B, I run this shit like cardio, I'm in district in the chain, certified, you know I'm gang, drop the top and blow the brand. Oh, he's so handsome, what's his name? I need the dollars to beat it up like pinata. Turn the drops, close the curtains. Bad chicks make you nervous.
Chambean, chambean, pero no jalan. Tú compras todas las Jordan, a mí me las regalan. I spend in the club, what you have in the bank. This is the new religion bank, el latino gang. Yeah, está toda servieta, pero es que en el closet tengo mucha grasa. Ya mudé la Gucci pa' dentro de casa, yeah. A ti no te conocen en plaza. El diablo me llama, pero Jesucristo me abraza. Guerrero como Eddie, que viva la raza, yeah. Me gustan boricua, me gustan cubana. Me gusta el acento de la colombiana. Como me ve la dominicana. Lo rico que me chinga la venezolana. Andamos activos, perico pim pim. Billetes de 100 en el maletín. Que retumbe el bajo y Valentín, yeah. Aquí prohibido mal, dile charitín. Que per pico le tengo claritín. Llego a la disco y se forma el motín.
I'm in district in the chain. Certified, you know I'm gang. Drop the top and blow the brand. Oh, he's so handsome, what's his name? I need the dollars to beat it up like pinata. Turn the drops, close the curtains. Bad chicks make you nervous.
Como Celia Cruz tengo el azúcar. Tú que va medio y se fue de pecho como Ginny Luca. Te vamos a tumbar la peluca y arranca pa'l carajo. Que a ti no te va a pasar la boca. Mi tía y Valenciaga me reciben en la entrada. Para, sí, like I'm Lady Gaga. Y no te me hagas, que en cover de vivo tú has visto mi cara. No salgo de tu mente, donde quiera que viajes, he escuchado mi gente. Ya no soy high, soy como el testarosa. Soy el que se la vive y también el que la goza. Cosa, es la cosa, mami es la cosa. El que mira sufre y el que toca goza. I said I like it like that.
I said I like it like that.
I said I like it like that.
I said I like it like that. I'm in district in the chain. Certified, you know I'm gang. Drop the top and blow the brand. Oh, he's so handsome, what's his name?
Good morning, guys. There are so many fears that we have to master and control in this life, but I want to talk about the first one today, the fear of poverty. This one is one Napoleon Hill talked about in Think and Grow Rich. And to me, the way we overcome this fear, and I feel blessed because throughout my life, I've always felt like money is not I've never worried about it. We never had much of it. We had enough of it, and I'm very grateful to my family and friends for that. But I'm grateful that I've been able to master and control this one. And I want you to as well. And the way we do it is by changing the way we think and working on ourselves and the energy that we're emitting in this world. because that is the representation. The money is the physical representation of that. And once we swallow that bitter truth, we can then move towards it and mastering that fear of poverty. We are abundant. There's abundance everywhere. And we have to realize that every single day. Have a great day, everyone.
How much of your success do you attribute to having really audacious goals, or versus just not being focused on the short term, money coming in, or I don't know, investors?
Unfortunately, one does have to be focused on the short term and money coming in when creating a company, because otherwise the company will die. So I think that a lot of times people think like creating a company is going to be fun. I would say it's not. It's really not that fun. I mean, there are periods of fun, and there are periods of where it's just awful. And particularly if you're the CEO of the company, you actually have a distillation of all the worst problems in the company. There's no point in spending your time on things that are going right. So you only spend your time on things that are going wrong. And there are things that are going wrong that other people can't take care of. So you have like the worst. You have a filter for the crappiest problem in the company, the most pernicious and painful problem. So I wouldn't say I think you have to feel quite compelled to do it, and have a fairly high pain threshold. And there's a friend of mine who says like starting a company is like staring into the abyss and eating glass. And there's some truth to that. The staring into the abyss part is that you're going to be constantly facing the extermination of the company, because most startups fail. It's like 90%, arguably 99% of startups fail. So that's the staring into the abyss part. You're constantly saying, okay, if I don't get this right, the company will die. It can be quite stressful. And then the eating glass part is you've got to do the problems. You've got to work on the problems that the company needs you to work on, not the problems you want to work on. And so that's you end up working on problems that you'd really wish you weren't working on. And so that's the eating glass part. And that goes on for a long time.
The number one rule for success is you have to love what you do. You have to love the process of the thing that you are doing. I've studied more successful people than most people, and the work that I've done on my YouTube channel, my website before that, that's been 20 years. When did I start doing this? It was 22 when I started teaching how you can model success for your own success, right? That was through my website, and I'm 41 and a half now. So almost 20 years of doing this, 20 years of studying the most successful people and trying to dissect their lessons and bring them out for you to enjoy. And the number one rule that I found over and over and over and over and over again, the people who achieve at the highest levels, whether you're an entrepreneur, you're an inventor, you're an athlete, you are a musician, you are an artist, the number one rule is that you love the thing, the actual thing, not just the results of what you get, not just accomplishing the gold medal or getting the thing that's on your dream board, getting that house or getting that car, not that. The actual work, so that it doesn't feel like work. You know, that old expression of find something you love and you never work a day in your life. And it's really true. I look at my calendar and I see what I've got to do every day. I've got to make videos. It doesn't feel like work. You know, I don't look at this like, how lucky am I to be able to make videos in the car, and that's my work day, right? A lot of people would step into my life and hate this. Great. You know, I would step into a lot of people's lives and hate that too. That's the challenge. When you're stepping into somebody else's life, or you're helping somebody else build their dream, and you don't actually like the process of what you're doing, you're not going to be happy, first of all, and you're not going to be successful either. You're always going to know that you're capable of more, doing something bigger, something better, and as long as you're stuck with your foot on the brake, you're going to know you're capable of more and just being too afraid to go chase down that potential. So the number one rule for success is you have to love what you're doing. I was doing a presentation yesterday at Brendan Burchard's Influencer Summit, and it's probably the biggest event every year for people who want to become influencers, thought leaders, experts, get their message out to the world. You know, my kind of people. You got a message, you want to share with the world, let's go. And I'm trying to solve the world's biggest problem, and I can't reach everybody, but you can. Like, you can reach people that I can't reach with your message. And so I love being able to try to help spread the techniques, the strategies, the motivation as well, the belief that you have a powerful voice and getting that out there to the world. So yesterday, I'm doing my 1 hour talk with Brendan, and I shared my graphic of my growth over the years, and it was really slow growth at the beginning, very little results. 60 subscribers or whatever to 100 subscribers. You know, I'm on year 5 and I'm still in the 4 figures of subscribers. And it took a long time for me to get out of my own way. It took a long time for me to get comfortable in front of the camera. It took a long time for me to feel like my story meant anything, had any kind of value. Like, why do you want to learn from me when you could learn from Oprah or Elon Musk or Bill Gates or whoever the person is? It took a long time. And I've done now, I don't know how many thousands of videos. We're over 10,000 videos that we've made. And so somebody asked him, well, like, how do you keep going? How did you keep going when you had no results at the beginning, when you weren't becoming famous or you weren't getting a lot of feedback or recognition? And how did you make so many videos so consistently, right? If you average that out, that's over 1,000 videos a year. How did we make over 1,000 videos a year? It sounds crazy just thinking about that. That's 3 videos a day, every day for 12 years. That's pretty crazy. How do you maintain that level of consistency and not burn out, where some people are burning out after 6 months of being on YouTube? Well, I love what I did, right? I always focused on who I was serving instead of who I wasn't, because the who you're not serving game never ends. You know, if my main channel has 3 million subscribers, why doesn't it have 4 or 5 or 7 or 10 or 40, right? That game is never ending. But if you focus on who you are serving, who you are helping, who is paying attention, who is valuing from the products, services, content you're creating, it makes you feel better. Because focus on who you're not serving puts you in a position of lack, right? Of like, you're not good enough, people don't care, and it starts to take a knock on your self-worth. But when you focus on who you're actually helping and serving, and that somebody got value from your message today, your product, your service today, it gives you extra motivation to keep going. Like, how do you persevere? It's because you feel like you're doing something that matters. If you woke up and felt like today didn't matter, you're not likely to stay very consistent, right? It's like, if nobody's gonna watch, nobody's gonna care, nobody's gonna buy my thing, well, what reason do you have to get up and go work on that thing? You're probably gonna quit. But when you feel like it matters, even if it's to one person, that what you're going to make today will matter, will mean something to even just one person. If you actually felt that, you're going to show up completely differently than if you felt like it didn't matter. So I always focus on who I was serving instead of who I wasn't. And then the second part of that was I actually enjoy the process of doing it. You know, so when I see filming day on my calendar, or when I see interview day on my calendar, it's not work. It's not like, oh, okay, I got to go to work and then I'm going to have fun afterwards. When I get asked that on podcast, how many hours do you work? Or how do you stay so consistent on the content? I respond with, well, I'm here talking to you on your show. Is this work for you? Because it's not work for me. This is fun for me. It might be considered work, I guess, it's my business. It's part of business time, but it doesn't feel like work. The days fly by because I'm enjoying the actual work of what's going on. I enjoy the process. And I think that's the key. And when you find the people who have had tremendous success, you'll find that they actually enjoy the thing that they're doing and that the days fly by.
With MailChimp, you can design more engaging marketing assets in no time at all, thanks to our AI-powered...
And it's a good sign when it's not. You know, like if your day is not flying by, if you're stuck and you're struggling doing something, chances are that's the wrong thing for you. That's the thing that you need to give up on as soon as possible. And maybe that means you need to quit on the whole business. Like if the whole business is giving you nothing but stress and problems and you don't want to go in and you don't want to work on it anymore, maybe you picked the wrong business. Maybe you did what most people do, is they pick an opportunity just because they think it's a hot business, because it's a trending industry to be in for this year. But if you don't actually ever like the thing, you're going to quit on it, and you should quit on it so you can go find something that you actually love, right? So if you pick the business just for the opportunity, because you think you're going to make a quick buck, you're going to hate your life. Get out of it ASAP. Or it might mean there's just little bits inside the business that you don't want to do. And maybe you have to do it. And you have to do it for now until you can afford to hire someone to do it. Or maybe it just doesn't have to get done. You know, maybe that's not required. You know, there's some things that have to get done that you might not enjoy, right? Filing taxes. Most people don't enjoy filing taxes. Most entrepreneurs that I've met do not enjoy filing taxes as a part of their business. But if you don't want to be in trouble with the government, then you have to file your taxes. You know, it's an important part of being an entrepreneur. And so maybe at the beginning you do it yourself, but as quickly as you can, you want to hand that off to somebody else to do. Let them do it because they love it and they're great at it. And it allows you more time, but also just mental energy, because it's not just about the hours worked. When you are working on something that you do not enjoy doing at all, that 2 hours feels like 20 hours. Can you relate? You know, like doing 2 hours of work that you hate feels like it took an entire week to do of mental energy, versus when you're actually having fun doing it and it doesn't feel like work, you could keep going and you're producing so much and time just seems to fly by. So use that negative time as a filter. So when you feel that way, that you're not happy, you look at your calendar and you're not happy about what's coming up, that's a great time for the awareness to shift. Something needs to shift. If you look at your calendar, you can do this homework right now. Look at your calendar, see what's coming up in the next 2 weeks. Is it exciting for you? Are you pumped to go do it? Or are you dreading it or apathetic towards it? Like you could take it or you could leave it. And if there's nothing that's exciting in your calendar, nothing that scares you in your calendar in a good way, like it's growth opportunity, then you need to add something in. And if you're constantly dreading or hating the stuff that is in your calendar, you need to get out of that, because you will never win doing work that you hate. People say that, you know, do whatever it takes. You won't. Not consistently, not for a sustained period of time. You could do anything in a short amount of time, but over years, decades, you won't. You won't stay consistent on doing something that you hate. You'll never win because you're going up against people who love it. Whatever market you're in, if you don't love it and it's just a strategy for you, and somebody else, your competition, loves it, they live it, they eat it, they breathe it, they bleed it, they love it, that's them. And for you, it's just a strategy and you hate it. Who do you think is going to win in the long term? It's not going to be you. But meanwhile, there is something you could dive into that you could love. The actual work, not just the results, but the actual work. And you have to find it. I've studied so many successful people over the almost 20 years now, 19 and a half years of doing this. And the reason why I went to non-entrepreneurs as well was because it's all the same lessons. That success in athletics and success in music and success in art and success in every field still comes down to you need to love the process, love the work. And if that's you and you love what you're doing, you have to keep going and find a way to make it work, or you regret giving up on it. And if you're the opposite and you hate what you're doing and you think it's good strategy, the best strategy is to get out and go find something that you love, because that's where you will win. Also, to make sure you're actually taking action after watching this video, I've designed a special free worksheet just for this video. The worksheet will highlight all of the lessons learned in this video, as well as pull out our 3 favorite learnings and quotes that will inspire you to actually do something. The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video, absolutely for free, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and start building the momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you there.
Comienzo un nuevo día y estoy bien. Me fluye la energía, más de 100, nada me detiene. Soy un ganador. Camino para adelante como un tren. Luces en mi vida no se ven. La vida me ha vuelto loco y soñador. Me enfrento a cada reto sin temer. Procuro ser mejor que el día de ayer. Esa es mi bandera. Esa es mi misión. Reparto buena vibra por doquier. Mi vida es un derroche de placer, por eso la bailo como esta canción. Así es mi vida, es que así es mi vida. No hay nada de malo, para lo malo aquí no hay cabida. Así es mi vida, es que así es mi vida. No pienso en problemas porque bailando todo se olvida. Esta fue la vida que a mí me tocó.
Legs crossed, back straight, eyes closed. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Deep, long breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Feel that power of you controlling your breathing. That power that's available to you all the time, wherever you are in life. That power to reconnect to your greatest gift right now, your presence, your being. Your infinitely intelligent being. The same stuff we're all made of. And with that stuff that we're made of, we can control the most powerful supercomputer in the universe. Your mind. But only you can do it. Only you can control your own mind. So let's do that right now, and let's see the future. Today, our time together, let's see ourselves doing the best we can on every single exercise and stretch. For this is not only the gym that we have available to us right now, in this space wherever we are, but it is also the gym of life, where we grow our minds all the time. Good morning, determination. How's everyone doing today? Another great day. Wherever we are today, for myself, I'm indoors. Maybe you yourself are indoors as well too. Well, wherever you are, let's go. Let's make this the best gym period we've ever had. It may not be exactly where we want to be. We may not be in school or at work where we really want to be, but wherever we are right now, let's do this to the best of our ability. Here we go, determination, here we go. When I say go, we're going to start jogging on the spot for 1 minute. Ready, and go. And as always, we're thinking about our breathing, focused on our breathing. Feeling that power of us always being able to control our breath. Even when our heart starts beating faster, whether it's through exercise, whether it's through something stressful, something maybe we might be afraid of or we don't like. We get to control our breathing. The same way we get to control our thoughts. And our thoughts affect our feelings. So if we can control our thoughts, we can control our feelings. Almost there, everyone, almost there. Keep going. Keep going, determination, keep going. And stop. All right. You can walk on the spot, or you can walk side to side as you recover your breathing. Always feeling that power of you controlling your breathing. This is the best. What we have right now, wherever you are, you've got your mind and your body in the gym of life. And you get to be your best right now on whatever stretches, exercises we're about to do together. Here we go. Here we go, determination. That's why I love gym. Gym is the best. Grow your mind in the gym of life. Here we go. Let's do 10 shoulder rolls forward. Ready, everyone? Here we go. The best 10 shoulder rolls forward ever. Still controlling our breathing. Shoulders all the way up and around as high as we can towards our ears. And backwards. Again, feel the power of you controlling your body right now. In these simple movements, simple motions, you get to control your body. The way you control your mind, same way. Alright, and let's do arm circles forward, everyone. Arm circles forward, 10 big ones forward. Feeling the joy of our arms moving through space. Alright, and backwards. Excellent. Alright, everyone, let's put our hands on our hips, bend the knees, and side stretch. There we go. 5 on each side. Alright, and let's twist our bodies. Here we go. Feet flat on the floor. 5 on each side. Really thinking about what we're doing. Really trying to feel every part of our body as it's moving in space. Alright, good. Okay, let's do 5 push-ups together. Here we go. 5 push-ups. Best 5 push-ups. Again, if you got to keep your knees on the ground, that's okay. Just do your best, always. And 5 sit-ups. Excellent. And standing up. 5 squats. Here we go. Body straight ahead, looking straight ahead. All the way down. All the way up. Alright. Let's do 3 lunges on each side. Here we go. Arms out. Still controlling our breathing. Alright, and let's do 10-second plank. Belly's knees off the ground. Again, feeling the joy of you pushing your body a little bit outside its comfort zone. Because you know that's where the growth is. Alright, everyone, and standing up. Reach for the ceiling on your toes. Or the sky if you're outdoors. Today I happen to be indoors. If you're outdoors, reach for that sky. If you're indoors, reaching for that ceiling. We may not touch it yet, or ever, but we're going to reach, we're going to strive. Just like we do in life, no matter what. Okay, now reach for your toes. Again, it's okay if you don't touch your toes, but keep your knees straight. Reaching for your toes. Feeling the pull in the back of your leg. Not the pain, just a little bit of a pull. Alright, come on up. And let's balance. Grab one leg, find that balance, bend the other knee. Well done, everyone. Keep going. Keep thinking about what you're doing right now. And switch. Again, feel the pull on the front of the thigh. Bend the other leg. Find that balance. If you lose it, just try to work hard to get it back and then hold it there. Excellent. Alright, now let's hug our knee. Here we go, all the way up. And try to steady that other foot on the ground. Bend the knee if you have to and pull all the way up. Hold it for 10. Always working hard to find that balance. Where we balance our thoughts, our mind, balance our bodies, wherever we are in space. Alright, and switch. Just always think of safety too. Make sure you have enough space, clearance around you, in case you do lose your balance. Hold it there. Well done. Okay, good. And let's sit down, everybody. And reaching for our toes, straight knees again. Reaching is what matters. If you don't get to your toes, that's okay as long as you're reaching. Feeling the pull on the back of your legs. Not the pain, just a little bit of a pull. Okay, V shape with your legs. Now reach for the floor as far away from your body as you can. Hold it there for 10 seconds. Okay, now reach for one side and hold it there again. Always thinking about the moment, thinking about what we're doing right now. Experiencing the joy of being able to reach for something to help our bodies get better. And switch the other side. See, you can do this almost anytime, any place. You can work on your mind and your body wherever you go in life, in everything you do, not just in exercise and stretches. All right, here we go. And let's do feet together. Gently push your knees down with your elbows and hold it there for 10 seconds. If you feel your breathing going on autopilot or becoming automatic again, take control of it. Deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Good. One leg forward, one leg back. Keep the knee on the ground. Go as far back as you can. Hold it there. 10 seconds. And switch to the other side. Knee on the ground. Go as far back as you can. Always remembering that you are the boss of your mind, and your mind is the boss of your body. That makes you the big boss. You get to control yourself. You get to use your determination no matter what. All right. And let's roll onto our bellies and push the floor. Looking up at the ceiling. Cobra stretch. Here we go. Hold it for 10 seconds. Feeling that nice stretch in our lower back, neck, back of our arms. All right, and legs crossed, back straight, eyes closed. Taking deep, long breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. And now, activating that third eye, that mind's eye that we all have. We can't see it, but we know it's there. So use your mind's eye right now to see yourself doing the best you can today when that music goes on whatever 2 exercises, stretches you've chosen to do. For me, today I'm going to be holding the push-up position for one song, the first song, and then I'm going to be holding the squat position for the second song, as long as I can. And if I happen to let go or not be able to hold it, I'm going to continue on until that song's over. What about you? You can put on your own 2 songs today, and you can do your own exercises. But think about which exercises you're going to do right now, safely within the space you have. You can do what I'm doing. You can listen to what I'm listening to, or you can choose your own. But whatever you do, determine right now, see in your mind what you will do when that music goes on. All right, determination, here I go, holding the push-up position. And let's go, whatever you're doing, whatever you've decided, let's see it. Let's see your best. Here we go together. Let's go, determination, let's go. Looking forward to being better than we were last time, a little bit more than last time. see if I can hold it for the whole song. Let's see. Wasn't able to do it last time we did this together, or the last time I did it on my own, but I'm gonna work at it right now. Because I love the process of trying to get better at something. Whether it's building strength in my body, building strength in my mind, working on creating nothing but positive images, thoughts, visions in my mind, working on being the best human being I can be. What about you? What is it for you? Whatever it is, just enjoy the process of learning, growing together, whatever we're doing. And sometimes we're going to feel that discomfort. Like right now, I can already feel my muscles already uncomfortable. But then I can feel my determination saying, I get to determine whether I'm going to stop or keep going, no matter what. You too, let's go, determination, let's go. Alright. Didn't get through the whole song, but I'm gonna get right back at it again. Song's not over, we gotta keep going. There we go, shaking it up. Not being mad that we didn't get to where we want to be yet, but feeling happy that we get to go at it again. Here we go. Always thinking about our breathing. Always thinking about finishing strong, no matter what. Always going right to the end, finishing what we set out to do, no matter what. All right. Got more in me. I know I got a little bit more. We gotta keep going. You too, whatever you're doing, keep going. Determination, keep going. Let's go. It's not over yet. The song's still playing. Focus on that breathing. Good air in. Bad air out. Here we go. Another round. Oh, I love it. I love the process of building our true great self through exercising our bodies and our minds together. Oh, that's the next song. All right. Time for some squats. Holding the squat position. What about you? What are you going to do next? Let's go. Determination. Here we go. Ready? All right. If you're doing what I'm doing, just try to keep your feet flat on the floor, looking straight ahead, going as far down as you can, your bottom towards the ground, and holding it there as long as you can until that music's done. Because our music, you know the truth, our music's never done. Our energy, our determination is built to last, to get through anything. Let's go, determination, let's go. If you're sweating, that's good. Feel your body releasing some of that fluid, some of that old fluid, water. Make sure you drink lots of water when we're done. Make sure you always fill your body with good food. All right. And here we are again. Back to where it all begins. never ends. That source, that oneness, that consciousness, that awareness. That we know is in all of us. That power to determine, to control our minds. You see, nobody else, nothing else in this universe can do what you do every day. In the gym of life. Only you, human being, only you, infinitely intelligent being, can do the ultimate. Only you can control your mind, your thoughts, and therefore your feelings. It takes a lot of hard work. It takes, first of all, believing that you can do it. If you don't believe in yourself, your mind health, your chance at mind wealth is not possible. But that's not the way it was meant to be. You were born to win. Control over your mind, your thoughts. To have and be all you were meant to be. And that means believing 100% in who you really are. And that is the key to your mind health and your mind wealth, your happiness, your freedom, your success, your infinite peace and love towards everything and anything. It's possible. It's all because of you, your determination, united with all of our determination, creates that oneness, that consciousness, determination. And that's why I love you, determination, wherever you are. I miss you, I miss being in your presence, but here today, we united. We enjoyed this process fully. And the way we do or did this is the same way we can do anything, including being the best for all those around us, wherever we are right now. So keep going, determination. Keep working on controlling your mind. Because that's for all your health, mind health, your happiness, your freedom, all your love that can never be taken away. I love you, everyone. Have a great week. Until the next time. Good morning, everybody. Today in our top 10 rules for success, Oprah Winfrey shares another rule for her that has worked so well for her. She had to kind of overcome this, and that is the idea of work on yourself. So everything that we will achieve, everything we will enjoy in life is going to be really a reflection of how hard we've worked on ourselves. Now, Oprah Winfrey shares with us today that there was a point in her life, and I felt this way too, and I still try to challenge my own thinking about this every day and overcome this, is she felt almost embarrassed, ashamed that she would work on herself. She felt like she had the thought like, I'm so full of myself, or, I'm selfish. This is a thing we have to overcome. And even a greats like Oprah Winfrey have had to overcome it. Now she says, yeah, I'm so full of myself. I'm so beautiful. I want to share myself with the world. So the more we work on ourselves, the more confident we become, the better we can share with everyone else. Have a great day, everyone.
Are there daily practices and strategies that someone right now says, I've got anxiety, I've got worry, or any of those factors, I'm not focused enough, I'm not happy? What would be a daily practice you would recommend strategically?
So in the book, there are a bunch of tiny habits. The small things you can do will make a big difference. What I do, it's actually on the top of my to-do list. Whenever I fire up my computer in the morning, on the top, it says today is going to be a great day. And I've trained myself, when my feet hit the floor in the morning, just tell yourself, today is going to be a great day. And then my mind, which is so powerful, will find why it's going to be a great day. I get to hang out with you today. That makes me happy, right? So it'll begin to retrain the negativity bias that is so hurtful and so common in people. And then I have a practice before I go to bed at night. I say a prayer, and then I go, what went well today? And I'm always amazed, because like you, I'm busy, and I just sort of get through my day, but I find these nuggets of awesome experiences. And we just adopted my 2 nieces, who I actually dedicate this book to. And at breakfast, why is today going to be a great day? At dinner, what went well today? I mean, I want to know what went wrong and what we can do differently, but I want to train your mind to look for what's right, because from an evolutionary standpoint, we already look for what's wrong.
Right. Survival mode.
And you need to know, right, that don't worry, be happy people die the earliest, but I want to train away the negativity bias to help you be in a happier place.
Need motivation?
Watch a top 10 with Believe Nation.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and I make these videos because you are probably the most ambitious person in your circle, but you know you're capable of more. And you get that push by surrounding yourself with the best. So today, let's learn from one of the best, Dr. Daniel Amen, and my take on his top 10 rules to success. Enjoy.
So let's say you have to read an incredibly long email from your boss that you have to finish before the big...
Rule number 2, choose the right food.
Have you ever been in a bad relationship?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, me too.
Multiple times.
Me too. And I'm not doing that anymore. I am only going to love someone that loves me back. And I'm damn sure not going to do it with food. So Drew Carey said it right. Eating crappy food isn't a reward. It's a punishment. So whenever I go to eat something, I'm just asking myself, do I love it? Because I want to eat what I love.
Yeah.
And does it love me back?
Oh, that is so good. That is so good. Oh, wow. I feel terrible for last night now. I totally get it. That's so powerful. It's the
4-year-old in you that wants what he wants when he wants it. It's going to be good, except here. And it's like, when is it rational for an alcoholic to have cheat days or a sex addict to have cheat days? And this food is
that's an epiphany. I've just had an epiphany. Yeah, that's huge. I never thought about it like that. I love what you just said. It's not a reward. It's a punishment. That's huge. Wow. Okay. Can you be my doctor for real?
Absolutely.
That was great. I love that. Okay. That was really good. The best foods for the brain are
colorful fruits and vegetables, colorful low glycemic fruits and vegetables, healthy fat, because 60% of the solid weight of your brain is fat, lots of fiber, and high quality protein, and water your brain, because 80% of it is water.
Rule number 3, get consistent sleep.
Give me your thoughts about sleep. How important is it? How impactful is it on our mental health and also on preventing dementia and memory loss?
So in Feel Better Fast and Memory Rescue, I talk about this one idea. If you want to keep your brain healthy or rescue it if it's headed to the dark place, you have to prevent or treat the 11 major risk factors. And I have a mnemonic I love called Bright Minds. And so B is for blood flow, and R is retirement and aging, and I is inflammation, and the S is sleep.
Because what I've seen is people who get less than 7 hours of sleep at night have lower overall blood flow to their brain, which means more bad decisions. People who have sleep apnea, they snore loudly, they stop breathing at night, their brain actually looks like they have early Alzheimer's disease. It begins to kill the tissue in their parietal lobes, top back part of the brain, which is one of the first areas that dies in Alzheimer's disease. And then new research has shown that when you sleep, your brain cleans or washes itself. It's basically cleaning up the amyloid plaques that are building up in the brain. And so making it a priority is critical. And in 1900, on average, Americans got 9 hours of sleep at night. Now in 2018, they got 6.5 hours of sleep at night. You can't go through that kind of radical change in such a short period of evolutionary history and it not have a negative impact on our well-being. Children who average 1 less hour of sleep at night have a higher incidence of suicide. So we need to be more thoughtful and make sleep a priority in our lives.
Rule number 4, detoxify your body.
No one believed it at first, but now everyone wants one. In under 45 seconds, I'm going to...
Water, fiber, absolutely essential to help detoxify your body. I'm a huge fan of N-acetylcysteine. And if you actually look at the studies, N-acetylcysteine is fascinating. It's what they use to help people have Tylenol overdoses, to help the liver. But it's also got multiple studies showing it improves resistant depression. It helps with cocaine addictions, with marijuana addictions, with alcohol, and compulsive gambling, which I just think is really fascinating. And then the skin and sweating really helps. And in Memory Rescue, I talk about a study from Finland where people who took the most saunas had 2/3 lower risk of Alzheimer's disease. And I think it's because they're helping to detoxify someone's body. And so the more saunas you can do, odds are that's better for you, at least if we believe this research.
Do hot tubs probably do the same thing?
No.
Why not?
It's the sweating that really helps activate it. And the infrared saunas penetrate deeper than just hot water. And my sense is it's not just being in hot water. It's activating your sweat gland activity as much as you can where you don't feel dizzy or tired or nauseous.
Got it. Yeah, I definitely use my infrared sauna on occasion, but for some reason, I'm one of those guys who can sit there in it on full blast for an hour and it's 150 degrees, and a half hour in, I'll start sweating. But my tolerance for it is much higher than most other people. So it takes a long time for me to get benefits from an infrared sauna, at least that kind of benefit.
You know, it's true for some people, but after 7 or 8 sessions, it actually, your sweat gland activity will likely increase. So it's almost like you have to prime it to work over time.
Also, to make sure you're actually taking action after watching this video, I've designed a special free worksheet just for this video. The worksheet will highlight all of the lessons learned in this video, as well as pull out our 3 favorite learnings and quotes that will inspire you to actually do something. The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video, absolutely for free, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and start building the momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you there. Rule number 5, delay gratification.
There's another study I came across a while back that said that they were 3 times more likely to be diagnosed with senile cognitive dementia later in life. This was actually just around people who are overall extreme cynics, kind of the glass is half empty everywhere. Do you think that there's a correlation with senile cognitive dementia we already talked a little bit about Alzheimer's, but some of the other basically diseases of aging and these brain states that you can pick up when you're 20 or even when you're 9. Like, can you see these brain states and say, someone with that disorder is likely to end up here 60 years later?
Well, you probably know about the marshmallow test in 4-year-olds. They did at Stanford. It's if I give you, you can have this marshmallow. So that's what they did with 4-year-olds. You can have this marshmallow now, or if you wait a few minutes, I'll give you 2. So it's a frontal lobe function, right? Your ability to delay gratification and think ahead. The ones who are able to delay gratification had significantly more successful lives. 30, 40, 50 years later. There's another study at Stanford where Lewis Terman evaluated 1,548 10-year-old children in 1921. And then researchers followed them for the next 90 years, looking at what went with success, health, and longevity. And it was just fascinating because it wasn't happiness or a lack of worry. In fact, the don't worry, be happy people died the earliest from accidents and preventable illnesses. The people who lived the longest were the conscientious ones. You said you were going to show up, and you show up consistently, reliably, predictably. You lived longer than everyone else.
Rule number 6, learn new things.
For the one, if I had to pick one thing, it would make sure you're learning new things every day. It's keeping your mind engaged and not on things. So, both you and I work in high-level professions, but it's not doing the same thing over and over and over. Because when you learn to do something, whether it's internet marketing or speaking, well, your brain figures out how to do it. And over time, it uses less and less energy to do it. So it's picking up a new instrument or a new language, or it's doing something in a new and different way that is so important.
So this means that playing video games only works if you're constantly switching to a new one that's challenging versus playing the same one over and over and over?
Correct. Tetris can only work so long.
Rule number 7, take care of your blood vessels.
Many years ago, I realized, because SPECT is a blood flow study, it looks at blood flow and activity, and the number one brain imaging predictor of Alzheimer's disease is low blood flow to your brain. So whatever is good for your heart is good for your brain. And whatever is bad for your heart is bad for your brain. So taking care of your blood vessels is actually one of the most important things you can do for your brain.
Rule number 8, have passion at work.
Get the keys to a rewarding career. Find your calling in real estate.
You never love anybody like your first love. It's very special. Of course, and then until you marry them. And then you realize that your memory wasn't quite as good as you thought it was. 2 months after we got married, she tried to kill herself. And I'm frightened and horrified and bring her to the chief of the Department of Psychiatry at Oral Roberts University, and I fell in love with him. Why? Because I realized that if he helped her, which he did, it would not only help her, it would help me, and it would help our children, and subsequently even our grandchildren. So I fell in love with psychiatry because I realized it was a very special profession that had the ability to change generations of people. So I'm passionate about what I do. So if we fast forward to 1991, I go to my first lecture on brain SPECT imaging. SPECT is a nuclear medicine study that looks at blood flow and metabolism. Dr. Jack Paldy, he's the one that gave the lecture. He said that SPECT is a tool to help psychiatrists get more information on their patients so they can make better decisions.
And I'm sort of excited about that because in that one lecture, my two professional loves, which was imaging and psychiatry, came together and quite honestly revolutionized my life. Over the next 23 years, my colleagues and I would build the world's largest database of brain scans related to behavior, now over 87,000 scans on people from 111 countries. So we're really excited about combining imaging for psychiatric issues.
Rule number 9, control your dopamine.
Here's something I want you to test. Get like some language learning, like Rosetta Stone or something, and play Tetris and see if you learn languages faster. Like maybe that hypnotic state is a useful state. And because I'm crazy, I am going to wire my brain up at 40 years of Zen to a 24-channel EEG and play Tetris and see what the heck it does. I want to know what the hypnotic state is. Maybe we could use that for hacking our brains. What do you think?
I think it's certainly interesting how it can decrease cravings. And it probably has its own little dopamine squirt going with it. Or I like, the better word I like is drip. You want to do activities that drip dopamine throughout the day that help you feel sort of pleasure and happy and focused and motivated. You don't want to pour dopamine. So if you do cocaine, that pours dopamine.
So cocaine
if you have an affair.
Yeah, cocaine and porn. Yeah, those are the two big dopamine things, right? And extreme sports, maybe like almost dying. What are
extreme sports clearly would do it as well, and sometimes video games will do as well, especially if you're like murdering 250 people in 3 minutes. That it is pouring dopamine, and the problem with pouring dopamine, or if you get a big sugar burst pours dopamine as well. They've actually found people who are overweight have dulled activity in the nucleus accumbens, the pleasure centers where dopamine acts. I always think that's interesting. That's why you want to avoid cheesecake or donuts, because they actually are physically wearing out your pleasure centers. So you have to be careful with it. Better to drip dopamine than to pour it.
And rule number 10, the last one before some very special bonus clips, is do what you love.
Do you want to be respectful of your time? The last question I ask all my guests is, what is your secret to profiting in life?
In 1986, I wrote a book called The Sabotage Factor, all the ways we mess ourselves up from getting what we want. And the number one hallmark of self-defeating behavior is blaming other people for how your life turns out. So I take responsibility, and responsibility is never blame. It's just my ability to respond to whatever situation comes my way. So it starts with that, and then it goes to, what do you want? Clarity, clearly defining what you want: relationships, work, money, physical, emotional, spiritual health. I have an exercise called the one-page miracle. Write it out and write what you want, not what you don't want, right? Focus on negativity will bring more negativity in your life. I think if I had to go, so why have I been successful? Because I'm responsible and I have clarity. And I stopped caring what other people think of me. There's a rule I love called the 18-40-60 rule that says when you're 18, you worry about what everybody's thinking of you. When you're 40, you don't give a damn what anybody thinks about you. And when you're 60, you realize nobody has been thinking about you at all. People spend their days worrying and thinking about themselves, not you. So do what makes you happy, as long as you can support your family. Right? There's people go, oh, do what you love. And it's like, as long as you can support your family is an important caveat to that. And I think that, and brain health, because I love my brain. I'm 67. I have the same energy I had as when I was 30. I have the same mental clarity. I just have a lot more experience and wisdom. When I first scanned myself in 1991, it wasn't good. And just the week before, I'd scanned my 60-year-old mother, and she had a gorgeous brain. And so I created brain envy. I wanted her brain. So here I am. I'm a double board certified psychiatrist. So for people that don't know what that means, so I'm a general psychiatrist and I have a specialty in kids. I'm a child and adolescent psychiatrist. I'm a physician. I'm highly educated and I don't care at all about my own brain, right? I love watching football on Sunday. And when I saw my brain, I'm like, ouch, this can be better. And so how do you make it better? Well, the second thing is you avoid anything that hurts it. And I have a mnemonic we can talk about called Bright Minds. It's, if you want to keep your brain healthy, you have to prevent or treat the 11 major risk factors that steal your mind. So brain envy, gotta care, avoid things that hurt it, do things that help it. And so what did we learn? That exercise boosts blood flow to the brain. Not believing every stupid thing you think calms the anxiety centers in the brain. Things like omega-3 fatty acids, get your gut right, because your gut makes most of the neurotransmitters in your body. Well, the little tiny habit for brain health is before you go to make any decision, you ask yourself, is this good for my brain or bad for it? And if you love yourself, because it's never about should. As soon as you think you should do something, you won't do it. Just because we're all 4 years old in our head and rebellious. It's, you answer the question in a positive way because you love yourself, because you love yourself, your wife, your life, your mission. That's why you do the right thing. Because too often people go, oh, well, I can't have this and I can't have that. And as soon as you get into that deprivation. Tech companies continue to create addictive gadgets that steal our attention and distract us from our loved ones. Microsoft just published a study that said the human attention span is now 8 seconds. A goldfish is 9 seconds. This is evolution going the wrong way. A study in the Harvard Business Review said that only 10% of managers have both focus and energy. It's a war. And the war has consequences. Your bad habits have consequences. We know Alzheimer's disease is expected to quadruple in the next 35 years. There is no cure for it on the horizon, and 50% of people 85 and older will be diagnosed with it. And the really bad news, what we now know based on imaging, it starts in your brain literally decades before you have any symptoms. So this 59-year-old woman I diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease, these are SPECT scans, it's the imaging studies we do at our clinics around the United States. The image on the left is a healthy scan, the image on the right is a 59-year-old woman who has Alzheimer's disease. Odds are she had negative changes in her brain in her 20s. So those of you that are waiting to get sick before you get serious about being well, you want to rethink that. In addition, depression has gone up 400% since 1987, and it is one of the major risk factors for Alzheimer's disease, as is diabetes. Brand new study showed that 50% of the United States, and this is because of the food we eat, we are either diabetic or pre-diabetic. And diabetes damages every organ in your body. It's not just a blood sugar problem. It turns out to be a blood vessel problem, and any organ that's deprived of blood flow is damaged. And then, as I mentioned, I published 2 studies that said as your weight goes up, the actual physical size and function of your brain goes down. And with 2/3 of Americans overweight, 1/3 of us obese, it is the biggest brain drain in the history of the United States. In fact, it's now considered a national security crisis because 70% of people who try to sign up for the military are rejected, and the #1 reason is weight problems.
Is it the pandemic, or were you anxious before all this happened? Anxiety disorders are the #1 common cause, the #1 cause of mental health issues. Now,
after an anxiety episode, people, they're just worn out because it's taken so many energy from them. Okay, so what to do? And I have taught you on these live chats how to do diaphragmatic breathing, but it's this one pattern. If you just do it 10 times, a couple of times a day, less than 2 minutes each. Take a big breath, 3 seconds in, and hold it for a second. And then take 6 seconds to breathe out. And then hold it out for a second. And then repeat that 10 times, less than 2 minutes. It triggers the opposite of a sympathetic fight or flight response. It triggers something called a parasympathetic response. You do that 10 times, you will feel so much better. And then as you're breathing, I want you to think about what you're really thinking about. I call them ants, automatic negative thoughts. These are the thoughts that come into your brain automatically and ruin your day. Automatic negative thoughts, ants. During a pandemic, you get infested. And the ants link, stack, and then they attack. And while you're breathing, I just want you to what am I thinking about? And then when you're done, write them down. And then kill them. Here are 2 SPECT scans, healthy on the left. So SPECT looks at blood flow.
Good morning, guys. I got another story from Les Brown I want to share today. This is related to fear. We're talking about fear. We're working on our fears every day, trying to overcome them. Well, he shares a story where there was a gentleman who would be daily walking by, and there was a dog there that would always chase him, and it was intimidating to him. He was afraid of this thing. He would run away from it. And this made me laugh when Les Brown ended the story by saying that once the man realized when he went close to it and realized when it was barking at him that it had no teeth, he was the one that became empowered and then, shooed the dog away and overcame that fear. So sometimes the point is, sometimes our fears are not even close to what we think they really are. There's no teeth in them. And so I love this story. It makes me laugh, and I hope we use it as we live, laugh, and love our way to infinite mind wealth. There may be no teeth in your fears. Have a great day, everybody.
Ya yo sé que es el flow con el dúo del moho combinado con el bajo, eso te mueve a ti. Cuando te empieza a quebrar, por ese piso a temblar, tú lo sabes muy bien, eso te mueve a ti. Como lo sabes, así nadie te gana a ti. Cuando te empiezas a mover, nadie te para a ti. Todas las chicas quisieran bailar así. Cuando suena el dembow, tú mandas por aquí. Si lo bailas, dígalo por ti. Si te sacan a bailar, tú le dices sí. Como lo mueves, amén. De la cabeza a los pies, tú eres feliz. Si bailan así con el mismo sentir, con tanta candela, no puedes subir la boqueta o me te puedo dormir porque lo hacemos así. Todo el mundo diga, 祭りだ祭りだ集まりな踊りなのみなかりサビだここは宴場わびさび感じて雅な時間をたしなみな肌の色とか気にしない隔てるかは君次第打ち上げてみな喜びの花火ブラタタブラタタブラタタブ